Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We're talking transfers, and as usual, we're talking about Chelsea players being linked to United, Arsenal signing Chelsea players, and this one in particular, Nicholas Jackson, has not gone down well with the United fan base. And I think when it comes to conversations regarding Jackson, I think it's being blown way out of proportion right now. For us as Chelsea fans, we've always wanted, competition for Jackson. And we signed Delap, who, I think as a 9 is a better 9. Jackson, for me, is more of a false 9, more of like a second striker for me. Jackson will get you goals at the end of the day. But when you're looking at how Joao Pedro's come in and legit just hit the ground running, he offers you everything Jackson does, and then he gives you a finish on top of it. So you can understand us wanting to be like, you know what? We have Delap, we have Joao Pedro. Maybe Jackson is a bit redundant. And you're looking at United, they have no number 9s that have anything on Jackson. So if the club is looking at him as a profile or as a target, then surely they see something that, everyone else might not be seeing. Jackson is not a terrible player. He's a terrible finisher, yes, but Jackson is still quality. You've brought in 2 guys in Bumo, and you've brought in Cunha, who hopefully do get you the goals. Now, if you add Jackson to that trio, or, as a trio, you got pace, you got power, you got creativity, and then you got goals. If Jackson can get you between 10 to 15 Premier League goals, and Mbumo gets you about another 15, Cunha gets you about another 10 to 15, that's already a lot of goals in that United team. I think Jackson would definitely suit the way United are trying to play. Jackson can be that link, drops in midfield, picks up the ball, and he just links with these other forwards. I think overall, Jackson has the touch that Højlund doesn't. Xerxes does have the touch, but so does Jackson. Jackson isn't as clinical, but so is Xerxes. He is not as clinical. And Rasmus is just terrible. So if you're looking at it from this perspective, a guy who's gotten you, 14, 15 goals first season, about another 6 assists, maybe 7. And the next season got you 10 and 14. That's about 30 plus GNA in about 50, 60 games. I think that's still a decent ratio for someone who, before coming to Chelsea, was playing out wide. So I think this conversation around Jackson is so skewed, because it's United don't want to deal with Chelsea. We sold them Mason Mount. They don't like the fact that they paid 50 M's. They don't want to give us another, 70 plus for Jackson. I get it. But I think the discourse around Jackson is just a bit too negative in a way, because he has so much other qualities he can bring to that United team. Chelsea, we can afford to be like, you know what, Jackson, we've had you for 2 years. We've brought in upgrades. We can let you go. United have not had that guy that has brought that quality up front. So I think Jackson should be someone that they should absolutely consider. Prem proven, can get you goals, creative. You understand what I mean? And it's improving. If you're looking at Sesko, again, he's got to come in and hit the ground running. Maybe you could go for an Ollie Watkins. Absolutely. But how much are you going to pay for Watkins? And you also got to consider the age factor, the salary, factor as well. There's just so many ups to get in a Jackson as opposed to a Watkins. Your Watkins is 29, about to hit 30. Going way past his prime. Jackson is coming into his prime. But I just want you to, I don't know if you guys can hear the audio, but just listen to this and let me know how you feel, because I just thought this take terrible. I mean, Jackson being the diarrhea in this situation is kind of wild. I mean, Watkins definitely ain't no Robbie Margot in this situation. You know, like it's not like Watkins is a much better player than Jackson. Watkins is a better striker, yes. He probably get you more goals than Jackson, yes. But there's a lot of things to consider. Age, getting into his prime, overall quality. Does he make your team better? You know, and who's the better value for money? Watkins is probably going to cost you just as much as Jackson is, maybe more. You understand what I mean? Like, he is Villa's striker right now. How many other strikers do Villa have? They already let John Durant go. So Watkins is that guy. So for you to go get Watkins, you gotta pay a premium. At least with Jackson, it's still gonna be flexible. Chelsea can work out a deal for United, maybe 65 plus 5 add-ons, 60 plus 5 add-ons. And I think Jackson just improves his team. So him being compared to Diarrhea for me was a bit too. It was gut wrenching because, in as much as I think Jackson can improve, I still think he's got great fundamentals. Like, he's young and he's going to just get there. And also now Jackson moving to a different team. That's that motivation, that's the hunger to prove himself. You understand what I mean? And if it doesn't work for you, in 2-3 years you can sell Jackson and still get some of your money back. There's no resale value on Oli Watkins. So him being compared to, like, I just think this conversation around Jackson it's just disingenuous. But let's listen. Also, like, how much was Sesko being quoted for this summer? Like, Sesko and Jackson are about what? Sesko's like what, 21, 22, 23. So kind of the same age range. Sesko's evaluation was 90 M's plus. Are Leipzig going to decide to bring that down? If they do, then maybe Sesko will be, much better value for money. But you still got to look at, the market right now. Leipzig are going to look at what Liverpool potentially paid. And so is Chelsea, by the way. We're going to look at what Liverpool paid for Ekitike, 69 plus 10, apparently plus another 4, takes the whole deal to about 82 million pounds, 15 goals in Bundesliga. I think Jackson cooks in that league. The Prem is a much harder league than Bundesliga. And let's be honest, that's just a fact. So you're talking Prem tax, a European winner, a World Club Cup champion. Like, you can't forget all these things as well on his CV. Yes, he got sent off and all that good stuff, but he's still a winner. It's still on his CV. So if you're going to be paying for Jackson, you're paying for everything that comes with it, and the scope for improvement as well. Like, there's no guarantee Sesko comes and he hits the ground running. At least Jackson, you've seen him in the league. You know what he's good at and what he can work on. So let's listen to some more. Again, you can understand the conversations around Jackson because Garnacho has been linked to Chelsea all summer long. So you gotta know if there's going to be conversations being had between both clubs. Garnacho is going to be brought up, and Jackson is going to be brought up. But again, it's like I just think the conversation or the disrespect on Jackson is just a bit too much for me. Because I think Jackson definitely comes in and he adds a lot to your team. So for me, I just think, the discourse is just, I don't know, man. I think it's just being overblown, because I think Jackson still cooks at the end of the day. Like, he cooks for United. So yeah, I don't know. I think he cooks for United. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, that's the conversation around Jackson. I think it's just the dialogue when it comes to Jackson. I get it. United don't want to deal with this. Cool, but it's like, yo, he's going to add something to your team. Anyway, Fabrizio said tonight, Victor Gyokores has once again rejected the chance to join Man United. He only wants Arsenal. So, thing with this Gyokores deal is like, it feels like allegedly Sporting, or they just keep moving the goalpost. They keep moving the goalpost. The deal feels like it's gonna be done, and then it's taken off. And now, there's being, it's now being said, maybe, Man United might want to get Gyokores. But look, this guy has decided, I'm gonna go to Arsenal. Look, forget about it. The only way Gyokores goes to United, if Arsenal go, you know what? Categorically, we don't want to sign you. We're going to pass on to a different target. Thank you, but no thanks. Goodbye. That's the only way I think Gyokores starts considering, other teams like a United. Maybe, I don't know, Liverpool don't look. I think Liverpool already have who they're looking for. So that's just that conversation is gone. Okay. United ain't gonna get him. You don't want to go to United. It is what it is. Let's just keep it moving. The big one today. Ekitike lands on Merseyside today ahead of his medical test on Tuesday as a new Liverpool player. 6-year contract ready. Ekitike only won in Liverpool despite, Frankfurt waiting for more clubs to join the race. The only two clubs that really were in the race for Ekitike were Newcastle and Liverpool. And as you know, they did say Liverpool basically bullyballed Newcastle into saying, yo, listen, if you don't give us Isak, we're going to get Ekitike. And that's just what happened. Look, great pickup for Liverpool, but on some level, I still feel Liverpool fans might not necessarily be, looking at this guy and going, yeah. Because I know it was Isak. Like, Ekitike is not a bad pickup. Not a bad pickup at all. But at the end of the day, it's no Isak. I think Newcastle should definitely try and keep a hold of Isak. Ornstein, I think, was the first one who broke it. Liverpool reached agreement with Eintracht Frankfurt to sign Hugo Ekitike, 79 based on, success for Liverpool, 69 fixed, 10 million bonuses, below 95 million euros, targeted 6-year contract, medical, then join tour. So Ekitike, Liverpool player, decent pickup. We looked at him early in the transfer window, but we saw that price and we went, you know what? It's kind of not a great deal. We went in, got Joao Pedro, comes in, 3 games, 3 goals, wins a club World Cup. Yo, Agbena, done. Finish. He's already legit paid off his transfer market, his transfer fee. So if this guy decides not to do nothing for the whole season, yo, he came in, he did his thing, and it's good. But just based on his social media post and, even tapping the badge when he scored and doing the Ronaldinho dance, you could just tell this guy's really settled. I think we're going to have a brilliant season with Joao Pedro as our number 9. Hence why you can see Nicholas Jackson trying to find a different place to go. Again, it's been reported that Chelsea don't really want to sell. But look, you don't want to sell till somebody brings him money. You understand what I mean? Let me just talk a little bit more about this Jackson situation, because again, it's not just coming out of nowhere. Nicholas Jackson is an option for Man United. They're aware of the situation, but at the moment, I'm not aware of any talks with Chelsea, but United are aware of Jackson's situation, and they know he's not untouchable. So again, United see something that we don't, and they are coming for him, and I think they want to they want to see what's up with Jackson. I think, look, if this deal happens for United, yeah, because this is kind of like one of the touchy ones. I think it'll be great. Like, I think it'll be such a good deal for Man United. Such a smart pickup. Like, they will be good. So just, come in, give us a bread, build your team, keep Garnacho, and then everybody's cool. Another piece of news that I do want to touch on, because it's been a very, very busy day. Looks like Chelsea's going to make some more money. Let's talk about it. Here we go. Atletico Madrid have now made direct contact with Renato Vega's camp, and the player is keen on the move. Chelsea insists on a package worth at least 40 million euros to sell Vega, while Atleti are prepared to advance in negotiations. This deal looks like it's going to be done. Chelsea Atletico is almost like Chelsea Strasbourg. Hey, listen, I got something I want to sell. How much you want to give me for it? Well, I want 40 mil. Can I give you 35? Say less. Let's do it. This is just how it's gonna go. Hopefully, because this guy is leaving it anyway. Like, Vega, I definitely would have wanted him to stay. I think Vega, when he got an opportunity, he was a very good squad addition. He struggled in certain games like the Newcastle Carabao Cup away game, but overall, Vega was a solid, acquisition. Came in, gave us some needed physicality, some high, he was a passion merchant, got the crowd going. He definitely would have been a fan favorite if he could really just get a lot of things patterned up. But you know what? He said, I want to go somewhere else. I want to play center back. Chelsea said, we ain't got no center back positions for you. So Vega, look, we're selling anywhere between 30, 35 mil. Great profit. A player came in. And that's a beautiful thing about Chelsea now. Even if you don't have a career here, you would be able to have a great career somewhere else. This dude came from Basel, played for Chelsea, played for Juventus, went with Portugal, won a trophy, and is going to Atletico Madrid. Like, this, you can't ask for more. You're playing for some of the biggest clubs in Europe. You're getting your call-ups to the Portugal national team. You're good. Even if you don't have a career at Chelsea, you're going to make it somewhere else. So hopefully this deal moves pretty quickly. I know there's a few people we got to get out of here as well. And the final player I do want to touch on is going to be this brother right here. Very, very interesting, profile that we're going to be added to this team is Xavi Simons. Chelsea are expected to proceed in talks with RB Leipzig for Xavi Simons this week after positive feedback from player. Just like Joao Pedro, this link, Pedro, I feel like we were linked to him a little bit, but the noise and the discourse were, Chelsea weren't really looking at him, yada, yada, yada. And then boom, we got him signed. And they're moving quick on this Xavi Simons deal. His agent is Ali Barat, agent of Moises Caicedo, agent of Nicholas Jackson. So there could be some legs to the story. Xavi Simons coming into this Chelsea team. What is he going to add to this team? I think he's going to add some more quality, shooting from distance, in the pockets, creative, great dribbler, low center of gravity, work ethic, work rate, and he fits into the model. Young, talented player. Arsenal are interested in Simons, as said, but our sources have heard they're focusing on Eze still, but if they cannot get that over the line, then Simons is a backup for them. Sources feel Chelsea could have come in and snap Simons by the time that happens anyway. We've already spoken to the players' camp, and apparently he's ready for the move. This feels like the kind of deal that would be done in like the next 24, 48 hours, because everything is just progressing pretty quickly. And look, I'm cool with this deal for anywhere between 50 M's to 55. Great resale value at the end of the day. You bring in. You've realized this season how Chelsea are building this team. They're adding shooters. I spoke about this in a previous video. Xavi Simons has opened the doors to Chelsea move after direct contacts with his camp. Club-to-club talks will start from Tuesday as Chelsea Leipzig will discuss deal conditions. For Chelsea, deal depends on outgoings. Arsenal remain also keen, but Gyokores and outgoings a priority. This season, or this summer, you look at players and the profiles we're adding to this team. Your Gittins is someone who cuts in and shoots. Esteval, a shooter. Cole Palmer can shoot. Pedro Neto shoots. Enzo Fernandez shoots. Now you want to add Xavi Simons, shooter. Delap, we know can shoot. Now we've seen a different side to Joao Pedro's game, and he's just letting shots fly. So you've taken Noni, Sancho, out of this team. You've taken Jackson out of this starting 11, and now you're improving it with people who are not afraid to take shots. If you don't shoot, you don't score. Like, it's really that simple. If you're bringing in people that can shoot from 25 yards, and all these attackers we have right now, you're looking at their different, qualities. Palmer can play on the the right wing, even on the left sometimes centrally. Xavi Simons, he can play in the 10, can give you something on the left as well. Feels more of like someone who plays in the half pockets, like your left 10. But again, he could give you something on the left. Gittins is your 1v1 winger. Neto is your 1v1. Esteval, your 1v1. So you got 3 1v1 players. You got your players like Simons, Palmer, and Enzo, who can hurt you centrally. So and then you got Pedro, who can also do a job out wide, center forward. So it's just that creativity. We're talking about facing low blocks, breaking down low blocks. The players we're adding to this team is going to be fantastic. Our defense is growing. And we're trying to get Hato as a backup to Cucurella. And I believe once Vega leaves, Hato is coming in. You get that Vega money, you take it to Ajax, you deposit that onto their books immediately. You get Hato in. Now you've got your fullbacks covered. Cucurella, Hato left back, Gusto, James, Achampo right back. And now you're looking at center backs. Maybe you bring one senior player in. Maybe you don't. But you still have Buddy Ashile, Levi Colwell, you have Tosin, and you have Fofana. Who did I miss? Yeah, that's about it. And you also have Josh, who can play as a center back. Your midfield is good, and you've added this much attack. Chelsea are looking a lot balanced right now. And this is all thanks to the fact that, we had a good end to the season. We won the Club World Cup, and then we also won the Conference League. So now we're looking like a very, attractive proposition. Now we can actually go into negotiations against Arsenal, Liverpool, Man U, and we're looking at these players. And we could genuinely say, you know what? We're bringing something to the table. And after that performance against PSG, the world has been put on notice. So this ain't Chelsea from 2 years ago. The way we're moving now is looking refreshing. You're able to add players like Xavi Simons to your team. Listen, you're about to do something, and you need to do something. The expectations are going to be there that, guess what? We have to do a great job next season, and we have to compete. But it's looking good. It's looking really good. One more news before we go. A player that United were being linked with on his way to AC Milan, and that's Pervis Estupiñán to AC Milan. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with Brighton after green light from Tony Bloom. 17 million euros plus 2 million add-ons. And you know what's so crazy? If any other team went to Brighton for Estupiñán, you're paying at least 30 million pounds minimum. So the fact that, AC Milan have come in and gotten this deal over the line, good move for them. Thing is, Estupiñán is very injury prone as well. He's missing a lot of game time. So maybe that's why a lot of these, big teams didn't look at him. But Yeah, smart pickup for AC Milan. And I know tomorrow there's gonna be a lot of news coming up. We just gonna cover it again. But it's looking very exciting. We're making big moves. We're getting Simone's. We're starting to move serious again. Liverpool, they've done their business. I mean, they're still being linked with Rodrigo. You've gotten Isak. I mean, not Isak. You've gotten, what's his name? Ekitike trying to sign Isak. We got Verts, Frimpong. Yo, Liverpool are really trying to just walk into the season, and we're all handicapped. Like, we're all playing at a disadvantage with the way Liverpool are moving. And that's a serious club. You can't even hate it. If they somehow get Isak to this club, bro, just wrap it up. Like, we'll compete, but my God, competing against this Liverpool super team, this Galacticos, it will be nasty work, But I think we'll still give them a good show. I think we should be definitely having a good season, but the transfer window's still open. We still got to add some quality. So, yo, guys, let's end off our transfer recap today. Like the video, sub to the channel. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.